Hey YouTube, this is Jaden and Wacky Zane over here, and we're coming in with our weekly podcast or YouTube thingy.
Whatever you want to call it. It's just easier to call it a podcast.
So, because that's what it started out as. Alright guys, we're going to have another 15 question week because the week we missed, I had another 10 questions, so instead of having 20 in 1 week, I decided to have 15 and 15, so next week we'll get back to our 10. So anyway, first off, I want to mention the contest that I've been running on my channel. It ends April 1st. If you have not gotten your entry yet, there's still plenty of time. In March, on April 1st at midnight, it's over. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel and you turned one in, it will not count. So you must be subscribed to the channel. So, last word on that. And first thing I want to say is, are you glad that the winter's finally gone and spring is here?
I am.
Nice weather.
It's finally about time.
Nice weather. Finally, it's good grilling weather.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
good golf weather.
It's good everything.
Just take a walk.
And even ball game weather.
Yeah, ball game weather. No pun intended.
It's the meat.
And also kicking back and enjoying some nice Pepsi
beverages.
Pepsi and Coke.
Is this product placement?
This might be product placement, depending on who wants us more.
We're talking about the number one rivalry in beverages in the world.
Maybe I'm more fond of Pepsi. Maybe I'm fond of Coke. You don't know. Maybe we switch our drinks.
Honestly, to me, they taste almost exactly the same.
Yeah. Hey Jay, I found out like last week I'm actually related to Christmas. I actually did Coca-Cola commercial. Which one?
Hey guys, we have Coca-Cola memorabilia. The auction will start next week. Okay, first.
Bid at $1.
All right. So next thing we're going to talk about $100,000.
Yeah, $100,000.
That's a bit much. Now it's a human life, I guess.
Or we'll sell them for 20% of Bushy Road stock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because them Japanese people, they love their Coca-Cola products. Okay, guys, so now let's... one thing I want to bring up is we finally got new English Vanguard episodes.
Yes, we do.
For the first time in 2.5 fucking months.
Yeah, it's been ridiculous.
So, have you watched them yet?
I need to tonight. I just found them today before I got here.
I am happy that we finally get to hear what reverse sounds like.
Yes.
I will tell you, though, not spoil anything, but for the reversed, I thought they were going to give them this demonic voice. But no,
that would be interesting.
It's just, you remember how Aichi was when he was bad?
Yeah.
Same thing, pretty much. He's just mean. Just
There's
an
no
ass.
way I can lose now. It's like, thanks, appreciate it.
So really good episodes. I was about ready to see my first reverse unit. The next 2 episodes that we'll get after this will be the Link Joker introduction, which
I'm excited to see.
I am too. I'm finally ready to see some Link Joker in American style instead of seeing it Japanese. So that's something to look forward to.
Yep.
Okay, and then a new thing we're going to start doing every week is I got this thing in the mail from my aunt for Christmas. I know it's the middle of March, but my aunt never my aunt never sends things out when they're supposed to be sent. And one of them is a calendar, and it tells you the date, and it sends you a quote to think about for the day.
Oh, I like this.
So I thought I would say a quote, and we would say what we think about it. And I think you'll like this one.
Okay.
I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Being willing is not enough, we must do. Leonardo da Vinci.
Pretty solid quote.
Yeah, pretty solid quote. It also, you know what it reminded me of when I read that this morning? I was like, it reminds me of the Star Wars Yoda quote, no, don't try, do. There is no try.
Right.
So... And plus, you know, I mean, if you're going to do something, you may as well give your best at it, or why. You can apply that to Vanguard, you can apply that to school, you can apply that to anything in life. If you're not willing, and you take Leonardo's words to heart, if you're not going to give 100% to it, don't waste your time. There's things out there.
If you do something, if you visibly fail, at least you can say you tried your best.
Also, mind you, when you have doubt about something that might not happen, well, if you don't take that first step to even make it happen, there was no chance in the first place.
Yeah.
And
there was another one I read somewhere once. It was Bill Cosby's, the fear of trying, your fear of trying should be bigger than your one of winning or something like that.
I think so, yeah.
Something along that line. But, you know,
I love Bill Cosby.
Leonardo da Vinci, he was a very, very wise man. And, you know, couldn't have said it better myself. if you have the chance to go see Mr. Peabody and Sherman,
I actually did go see that.
what'd you think?
I thought it was pretty good.
It was an amazing movie.
I loved it.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet.
Do you think it'll be? I'm thinking that is Oscar worthy.
I have so many.
You know,
movies I
it could
can
be.
see.
Now, before we get into the questions, did you agree with me that you had to have a little bit of historical background to get the jokes?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
There were some of them that would have went over somebody's head. Like I like the when they're in the Trojan horse and they're talking about like going to Oedipus's house for Christmas dinner or something.
Yeah.
And how awkward that is.
yeah, and all of a sudden it's like, look, oh, it looks just like our horse. Should I bring it in, sire?
We were not to.
Do you recognize that guy's voice, right?
Yeah, it's Patrick Warburton.
Yeah, it's Joe from Family Guy,
Yeah.
and he has one of the most recognizable voices on the planet.
He so does.
You know, what do you think of the overall, like, the character development of how well they did Mr. Peabody and Sherman?
I love them to death. They were just so quality, each of them. But I just felt so bad anytime, like, not too big of a spoiler, like, anytime, like, Sherman would say, like, I'm not a dog, or something like that, or just, like, completely offend him. It's just like, oh, why? His poor little dog heart.
Yeah, and I also thought it was every time Mr. Peabody would get in a pun,
Yeah.
Sherman would be like, I don't get it. You know who did Sherman's voice, right?
I don't. Who did?
Have you ever seen that show, How I Met Your Mother, or The Next Door Neighbors?
I haven't seen Next Door Neighbors, but
Okay, you remember the little short redhead kid?
in How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
I don't think I do.
Well, he did a couple episodes on that, but I think it was the neighbors that got him recognized.
Okay.
But he's this little short redhead kid, and he did amazing with it. Because he had to raise his voice because and I'm pretty sure what I love so much about that movie in particular is we all know a Sherman.
Yeah.
Everyone knew that one kid in school that knew all this stuff, and it's like, okay, why would I need to know that? But excellent movie, guys.
definitely recommend go see it.
Every time I go to a children's movie, I expect it to be but I left that one thinking, I'd pay to see that again. It was that good. And I think the puns where Sherman gets out of getting in trouble because his dad's a dog, and it's like, my tail may be wagging, but I assure you, I am very furious. If only, tricking your parents were that easy.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, guys, let's now jump into our questions.
Yes.
So question number 1. This was asked from one of the people that entered the contest. Have you ever read fan fiction?
Yes.
I have actually, and there was one time I read a fan fiction that was pretty interesting. It was a crossover between, I think it was definitely Nightmare Before Christmas, but it was mixed with something else. Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Really?
It was so interesting. Like, I think
I can see that.
I think it was Jack and maybe Mandy had a daughter, like a son.
Yeah.
And he was like kind of a mix of both Grim and.
Wait a minute, what?
Jack and Mandy has.
Yeah. I think it was that.
Wait, weren't they brother and sister?
No.
No, Jack Skellington.
Yeah, Jack Skellington.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
What?
No, don't worry. No, and Billy and Mandy were different
What happened to
kids.
Sally?
I don't know, but oh well.
Sally was my favorite character.
She was very nice.
I know.
But I don't remember what it was called, but that was like
and the
only-
doctor. Yeah.
Dr. Finkelstein.
For those of you, in case you're asking yourself what the hell is fan fiction is simply when you take up any storyline that you do not own and you write a new piece to it. You can pick, and you can make up anything. I've read fan fictions, Dragon Ball Z, to Yu-Gi-Oh, to Pokemon, to Alvin and the Chipmunks, guys. Anything that you want to can be wrote as fan fiction. Just make sure if you post it anywhere, you write in big bold letters.
I don't own anything.
I do not own anything. They belong to their respective owners. I am just using them and creating my own story.
Yes.
So, but have you read fan fiction? Like, what kinds have you read before?
I used to be big into Generator Rex.
I love Generator
I know.
Rex.
I've seen bits of it.
Generator X is pretty good.
It was.
Am I the only one who hasn't seen that?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Okay. I know the guy.
What happened to it anyway?
Ben 10?
Yeah.
That's the same guy.
Yeah.
Man
Okay.
of action.
It's the exact same thing.
Should be good then.
Don't bring up
Okay.
that show. Don't bring up that show.
Fun. I was actually looking at fan fiction last night, and the anime that you said you really liked, Hellsing.
Yes.
I never ever gave it that much of a watch, and I will admit I went online, and you got me hooked. I'm in love with. Yes, I love it. It's
so fantastic.
I've seen like the
I'm with
first
you.
5
Alucard is
episodes.
my favorite.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Alucard-
Alucard is amazing.
Hey, speaking of Alucard, we have Ghost of Alucard over here.
Goddamn punk.
Yeah, I mean, it just excellent anime if you haven't seen it.
Not to
And
mention-
if you have never read fan fiction, I implore you to go on internet,
Please
search.
do.
There's fan fiction for everyone. If you want,
There's actually a website called fanfiction.net.
It's actually true.
so and it's also free to write your own and post it. Just make sure you again say you don't own them.
You know,
Now,
I was browsing.
There have been people that have gotten in trouble for that.
Right, now be very specific on what you search because some fan fiction is not just normal fan fiction.
Yeah, you'll be getting
You get
into fetishes
Yeah.
and
It gets wrong. It gets.
On fanfiction.net, it automatically searches the search app from like K to like T.
yeah.
So you'll be fine if you don't change that.
So,
But
yeah.
I was like browsing through the miscellaneous and I saw like Titanic, Act of Valor.
Yeah.
It's like, why? These are true movies.
Yeah, I saw a fan fiction about Titanic where Leonardo DiCaprio, they were making fun of the Family Guy one where you see him falling and all of a sudden he comes back up. You know what? I think I'm actually going to be okay. Oh my God, we can get married. Well, there's this other girl.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for letting me draw you naked.
I still can't believe you did that.
But I mean, if you are going to write fan fiction, please don't destroy a good story.
Yeah, I mean,
Make something up.
like there's those ones that are very unoriginal where it's like, okay, so we have Goku. He just destroyed the world in 1 second because he's awesome like that. The end.
Well, I will be
What
honest.
was that?
I read a Dragon Ball Z fan fiction
Yeah.
where Vegeta and Goku were switched, and you know what?
That would be so intriguing.
The author had me hooked.
So it's Goku from Planet Vegeta and stuff, and Vegeta's already on Planet Earth.
Yeah.
doing all the
So
normal
instead
stuff
of
that he would.
Gohan, you had Trunks, and Gohan never existed. So it was very interesting. Whoever wrote that, kudos. I mean, because when I read the overview, I was like,
This can't be good.
yeah, and then I was like, you know what? I'll give it a read. And 5 minutes into it, I'm like, okay,
Happily surprised.
I can see this happening.
Yeah.
But speaking of Dragon Ball Z, we will be talking more about them in the questions later on. Okay.
I haven't seen that much of it.
Question number 2. What kind of music do you like?
I have a lot of interest, but the main ones I have are rock, pop, techno, trance, 50s, 80s, classical, and just glorious music. Just background music, basically, too.
I like
Yeah.
anything besides rap. Oh, by the way,
Yeah,
speaking
hate
of
rap
music,
and dubstep, personally.
next Thursday, from 9 to 2, I'll be on 104.5.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, you
9
know what I
a.m.
did
to
too?
2 a.m.
Awesome.
That's very cool.
9 a.m. to 2 a.m. 9 a.m. to 2
From
p.m.
career sharing?
Yeah, career shadow.
I did that too, and I was on 92.1 to beat last year.
really?
Yeah, I got to meet Lunchbox.
I
Oh, wow.
specifically
Yeah.
asked for 104.5.
Nice.
Well, you got
The edge
lucky.
is- yeah, the edge is
I
good.
know they're very stubborn about letting people do it, so good luck to you. So if you're in our area, check him out.
Yeah.
Music, I like very select rap. I like good sounding dance rap.
There's some
Like-
rap that I really like.
I love Usher because Usher, he never really talks about too many dirty things. I mean,
Right.
every music has that bit
Especially
where he's
in
going to be
rap,
talking about
yeah.
boobies or ass.
Yeah.
But I love the beats he creates. I think Usher, because he made his own beats and songs, I thought he was amazing. And to this day, I'm a huge Usher fan.
Yeah. And now let's be real, Hill. When you like a genre and stuff, you're not gonna like every band from it.
Yeah,
And sometimes you might not even care about the genre in general, but you'll still like 1 or 2 songs from something.
Yeah.
You can't just limit it to like only
Like,
that.
I hate country music, but
Yeah.
there is a couple
Some-
Garth Brooks songs.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Garth Brooks lives in Owasso. I actually knew him. I played on a intramural, which means guy and girl basketball team with his daughter.
That's awesome.
When I was in 3rd grade,
Yeah.
and we were all really scared. Like when we would like
play
go
with
up
her.
for rebounds, we were like, until finally Garth, he came out of the stands and said, "Guys, I'm just a regular person.
Yeah.
Please, you're making my daughter feel bad," because she was like,
Aw, nobody wants to play
and
with
she was gorgeous.
Oh, man.
But I had to say
Them
sorry.
country daughters.
I'm in love with Kimberly. I'm in love with Kimberly still.
Actually, the music I'm into is actually folk rock.
That's good
It's
too.
just because of Mumford and Sons, because I get the rest.
Well, guys, we'll continue our music discussion in part 2, so be sure to check it out.